Hello, I'm Mike Petters, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to A Navy Christmas. This year's show will highlight the men and women serving aboard the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, a Newport News built carrier that we redelivered to the Navy last year. Standing with me are just a few of the talented shipbuilders who worked on this project. We're here to wish everyone serving aboard Ike and all the men and women in uniform a safe and joyful holiday season. And we thank you for your dedication and service to our country.
Happy Holidays!
Taco Bell is once again proud to be part of the 21st Annual Navy Christmas, a tribute to the military. During this holiday season, please take time to remember our men and women in uniform defending our country. Taco Bell is made up of active duty military veterans and their family members. Hopefully this show helps bring their well wishes and love from their families to our heroes miles away from home. Please sit back and enjoy the rest of the show.
Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Joe Flanagan, and this is the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, number 69, back on holiday deployment after a midlife refueling and replenishment. You know, thousands of Hampton Roads sailors and Marines, once again this holiday season, and all the military in our area are on long and lonely holiday deployments. In the next hour, we'll do our best to bring them a little bit closer to home. A lot has changed since we first started doing this show back in 1986. The world's a lot more dangerous. Military missions are a whole lot more dangerous, but the message of peace on earth, goodwill toward men is needed now more than ever. Nobody knows that better than 13 News medical editor Catherine Barrett, who traveled to Iraq for a special medical mission with a group that truly lives out the spirit of the season 365 days a year.
Joe, about 400 Air Force medical personnel and some Army too work at a tent hospital here at Balad Air Base in Iraq. They don't stop during the holidays because the war wounded keep arriving every day fresh from the battlefield. They're stabilized here, then sent on medical flights to Germany. It's a special place and team that heal the heroes.
13 News military reporter Mike Gooding will work his magic again this year, as will David Allen, Regina Mobley, and the rest of the 13 News staff. Now, this may be the first deployment in 6 years for the Ike, but it certainly isn't for the 5,000 men and women who serve on board. And it all started October 3rd, Deployment Day, the saddest day.
Underway, ship colors.
They trained for it for months, but Deployment Day is never easy. Never easy on the sailors and never easy on the families left behind.
We're going to miss them a lot. It's going to be sad.
The hangar bay was full of hugs and kisses and tears and sadness just before the Ike pulled away. Moms, dads, husbands, wives, children, and even in-laws were all saying goodbye.
I'm very proud of him, but I'm going to miss him. I love him so much. I'm very proud of him.
That one word comes up again and again the day the ships pull out.
Sad. sad.
Man, I don't want to leave her and the baby, but I guess it's something I got to do. So I take it one day at a time. Hopefully, we come back as soon as possible.
On the flight deck, they man the rails in their dress whites. Some of the familiar sights of home slowly slipped away.
Well, I feel kind of sad because I'm leaving my family, but I'm kind of glad that I'm protecting them out to sea.
As we pulled out, I had bridge duty, and I could look out the window and see Norfolk getting very small behind me, and I knew I wouldn't see my family for a long time.
Ashore, Jack's wife, Royal Lee, daughter Campbell, and son Jack struck a pose and emailed it that very morning.
A fellow service member happened to be there and saw my wife taking photos and took a snapshot of them with the Eisenhower sailing in the background. She emailed it to me, which was great.
Deployment day, the saddest day.
For the 350 or so sailors of the USS Ashland, it will be a blue Christmas. As far as deployment cycles go, you could say they drew the short straw, missing Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, and Easter. It's not easy, but they say they're ready.
Yes, they are. They are going to miss a couple of those holidays, but it's part of the price that we pay. But it's to be expected. No one wants to miss any holidays or time with their family, but we know we got to do it. We're kind of resigned to it, but we'll do it. We'll do it well.
Whatever it is, they don't really know. As the Ashland set sail, it was a pretty open-ended mission they faced. Essentially, head east and await further orders. The only certainty was they wouldn't be home for the holidays.
It's going to be upsetting. It's my favorite time of year, but I think it's going to be okay. My kids have my husband. They're good with it. They know mommy's at work.
For the families and loved ones left behind, it's never easy. How hard is it to be out here this morning,
Pretty hard. Watching them walk away is the worst part.
That is really hard for our family. We're going to miss them a lot.
How are y'all going to get through it,
Nope, we'll figure that out when we get there.
First one of the holiday time. It's her first Christmas. He's going to miss her first Christmas. That's what's the hardest.
And also pulling Christmas deployment duty this year, the USS Kaufman. The guided missile frigate was bound for the western coast of Africa in vital maritime security operations, a mission which must be carried out, whether it's Christmas or not. You ever been underway with their Christmas time?
Yes, sir, I have. It's pretty rough, but, it's my job.
Of course, you're going to miss Christmas this year. How tough is that?
Christmas, birthday, Easter, all that good stuff, but we'll be back, and we've already celebrated Christmas on Thanksgiving, so had 2 holidays at once.
We celebrated our Christmas a little bit early, me and the family. It's exciting. It's going to be a quick 6 months. I look forward to getting back with them.
This is the hardest. This is the hardest right here. I'm okay because she's also she was in the Navy as well and did a deployment, so she understands it. But it's still hard. It's still hard.
It's going to be hard, there's no doubt. Family, friends, children. But best thing to do is just push on, keep your mind in the mission, and get back as soon as we can. It's kind of sad, but what has to be done has to be done.
It's always going to be somebody. I think that, in my experience, this is deployment number 7. Every single one of them has been over the holidays. I can tell you this, I can think of no crew I'd rather be taking overseas over the holiday period than the one I'm fortunate to have on board Kaufman.
From USS Angio, happy holidays, Hampton Roads. You got that? Let's try it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. From USS Angio, happy holidays, Hampton Roads. Oh, that was horrible.
Hundreds of sailors on board USS Anzio were doing their part to pass along a little holiday cheer. After all, they're all away from home, too.
Try to do it at the same rate. Ready? 1, 2, 3. From USS Angio, happy holidays, Hampton Roads.
Wow, much better. XO Tom here was doing his part to organize everyone.
All right, I'll step up here. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. From USS Angio, happy holidays, Hampton Roads.
Well, this is the best ship in the fleet, and we came up with it to represent Angio as leading the fleet. So Angio A, leading the fleet.
All right, you better fall in yourself.
All right, thanks very much.
And finally, it all came together with an attitude.
Ready? Hampton Roads, stand and fight. Got it? Got it?
Got it.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
From USS Angio, happy
understand how tough it is to have your loved one deployed during the holidays. No one, of course, unless they're in the same shoes.
I just want them to know that I know what it's like.
Say hi to my husband, and I love him, and we miss him.
Tincia Knight surrenders to the embrace of Navy families here at the annual USO Christmas party. She says the comforting hugs and encouraging words help heal the heartache, and so does this party.
We have service members deployed all throughout the world, and this is just the way that the USO can say thank you to the families for having to have their loved ones deployed over this season. And this is a chance for everybody to get together, celebrate the holidays, and have a good time.
Adorned with face paintings, they grooved to the tune of live music, smiled to capture precious memories, and revealed their Christmas wish list to Santa.
We got to have Santa, breakfast with Santa.
Today we're here to have a pretty fun time. It's been tough with Dad gone, another Christmas, and so we came to have a good time and just enjoy ourselves.
And many are bonding in special ways.
It's hard, it's gonna be hard. So he was gone a year, then he came back, then he stood for a year, and now he's gone again for a year. So we're gonna hang on. We're tough.
I understand what she's going through. And for any family that's out there, any moms and children that's out there, you know, I understand what you're going through. I know this is a time of the year where you really wish that your loved ones were home.
So as they jot down words of hope and messages to their heroes, they can't help but just smile because they have freedom and each other. They say this brightens their spirits this holiday. Though their loved ones may be miles away, they have a big family to celebrate the holidays with right here at home.
Hello, I'm John Powery, District Manager of the Dodge Dealers of Hampton Roads. We are once again honored to be part of Navy Christmas, tribute to the military. No matter what the role they play, each chooses to protect the lives of all Americans. Thank you for keeping our country free and safe. We are proud to be here for you, and especially thankful that you are here for all of us. Please enjoy the show.
Hello, I'm Tom Epley, Chief Operating Officer of Marine Hydraulics International, an employee-owned company responsible for the repair and maintenance of the U.S. Navy Atlantic Fleet. We in the MHI family would like to welcome you to the 21st Annual Navy Christmas Tribute to the Military. Our men and women of the military make sacrifices every day of the year, ensuring our safety and protecting our freedoms as Americans. Like many of you, I too remember the loneliness of separation from family and friends during the holidays while serving our country. At sea, in a strange port, or here in the States away from family, our men and women of the armed services deserve our gratitude and respect during this holiday season. Please join us in viewing this heartwarming message from our military men and women. And from all of us here at MHI,
Merry Christmas!
From all of us at MHI Midtown, we would like to wish you a
Merry Christmas!
This is the medical department on board the carrier Eisenhower. 53 people work in here. Our medical editor, Catherine Barrett, knows all about the corpsmen. She traveled with a special group in Iraq this year that work with the war wounded 365 days a year. Here's her report.
Under the morning sun, sheep wander. Above a swirling sunset, a mosque poses. But in Iraq, tranquility is brief. It's broken by the sound of helicopters and the sight of war wounded. Day and night, casualties arrive at this tent hospital at Balad Air Base. It's about 40 miles north of Baghdad in a former power base of Saddam Hussein, and now home to the Air Force 332nd Air Expeditionary Wing. It's the heart of the war's air operations. The injured arrive from Baghdad, Mosul, Fallujah.
It's an IED blast or a gunshot wound to the face. Sometimes you don't know anything.
The types of wounds in this war, devastating.
We just don't see these injuries back home at all.
My injuries are, I had some shrapnel to my lower left leg, and it got my right hand, which is I was steering with.
A roadside bomb explodes into the truck Specialist Justin Pelham is driving into Crete. Medics get him to a hospital close to the action. 24 hours later, he's medevaced to Balad's trauma center to save his hand.
After that, I couldn't look at it, so I knew it was pretty bad.
Like Justin, more injured are surviving this war because of better body armor, medical care closer to battle, and speed in getting them out.
And so it's very critical that we get the patients to life-saving hemostatic, or controlling of the bleeding, surgeries quickly.
Critically wounded may arrive within just hours of their injury.
This afternoon, there are 4 helicopters on the hospital landing pad bringing in and taking out both Americans and Iraqis.
Which bay?
We're going to 3. Take a hole, please.
Iraqi insurgents, civilians, and American forces, all under the same tent.
Mom, I was in an accident today.
Rifleman John Beaver is heading to hand out candy and school supplies in Mosul when a suicide vehicle explodes into his truck.
It had about 500 pounds of explosives in it, and he hit the side of our truck.
Now deaf from the explosion, his only injury, I write my questions.
Some doctors are saying I'll get about 50% of my hearing back. Some doctors are saying I'll get 75 to 80% of my hearing back. So I can only hope.
Standing guard in Karma, Iraq, Marine Robert Wild is attacked by small arms, rocket-propelled grenades, and a suicide vehicle bomb.
I have a real bad concussion and a possible neck injury. It's not broken or nothing. It's just they got to do more tests to let me know what's going on.
2 minutes out to your urgent letters, correct?
Evening in the emergency room.
OR1.
And 5 new patients are moved through.
Then, within 16 minutes, Balad ER filled up with 6 patients. Day shift, night shift, whoever was available came running.
A medic allows a moment of emotion.
Oh my God. Our people are getting just blown up, and it's hard to stomach it sometimes. It's hard to believe that this is happening every day, every hour out there.
Then the quiet of healing is punctuated by the signal of new arrivals like Robert, Justin, and John.
Take a hole, please.
Why don't you sit up for me? Let me take a listen here, okay? Can you?
Here he's wheeled to an operating room to clean his wounds. The unspoken hope is to save the soldier's hand and leg.
This is where the reality of war really breaks your heart. Justin has lost about 3 fingers and the tip of another and doesn't even know it.
And his lower leg is missing a lot of muscle.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking. I mean, in a way, it's inhuman. But we're here in the mission of saving lives, putting people back together again, with the hopes that they'll go on to enjoy the rest of their lives with minimal disabilities.
Anything we can do for them, help them get back to normal life after sustaining injuries is, quite frankly, an honor.
And that's why you find a Superman pillow in Balad, Iraq. And a handmade Purple Heart. Under the cover of darkness and roar of jet engines, the war wounded are carefully loaded onto an Air Force C-17.
It's 1:30 in the morning. Everyone has to wear flak vests and helmets because the entire base is under a potential threat from insurgents.
A C-17, a big target, so with wounded on board, it flies at night. It's been shot at, but never had to turn back. Less than 2 hours earlier, the aircraft landed packed to the brim with cargo for war, utility trucks, Humvees, and stacks of pallets.
I think it's pretty phenomenal what we do. It's not just turning it into a hospital aircraft, but just a huge transport system for moving patients from one area to the other.
The new cargo contains familiar faces, soldiers and Marines we met in the tent hospital at Balad, Iraq.
Then from here, I then went to Germany and back home in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Got a girlfriend and a family just waiting for me.
I was told that I could be sent to Germany to do more testing because I have some mental loss.
These Aerovac flights leave Balad Air Base in Iraq for Ramstein Air Base in Germany for a higher level of care at an Army hospital. As the death toll in the war reaches near record levels during our visit, the number of flights for the wounded increase.
3 times a week, this flight goes in and out of Balad. More trips are scheduled if they're necessary, which of course means there are more wounded. This week alone, there were 5.
Many with a flying intensive care unit back in the corner, a team of 3 devoted to the critically injured.
I'm a critical care air transportation nurse in the Air Force, stationed in San Antonio, and I grew up in the Norfolk area.
Air Force Captain Ellie O'Hara, a Portsmouth native, makes this trip 3 times a week.
It makes me feel good to know that, I can just try to get him out as quickly as possible.
The critical care team doesn't take their eyes off as many as 3 critical patients at once. Their ICU, a tangle of oxygen and power cables in loud, sometimes bumpy, and always stressful conditions.
I think what's unique is the fact that we're using portable equipment to run essentially an intensive care unit in the back of a plane, which it seems amazing to me that we can do that.
The doctors, nurses, and medics cover one link in the system that gets the war wounded home to the United States.
Sometimes you see a Purple Heart on your patients coming back from the field, and it just hits you.
A link the critically ill will not remember, and others will remember for a lifetime.
I think there's no greater satisfaction than bringing these injured heroes home.
You won't find a more spirited crew than on board the USS Mason. On this day, there were a lot of sailors to recognize for a job well done. Commander John here, a 19-year Navy veteran, 20 this May, is the CEO of this Arleigh Burke destroyer.
We are a multi-warfare platform. We do anti-surface, anti-air, anti-submarine. We are capable of doing maritime security operations. Basically, we're your one-shop stop. The only thing we can't do is launch a large aircraft, but anything you want us to do, we're going out there to do.
The name USS Mason is all about diversity with a rich past from a bygone era. Mike Gooding touched on it when he covered the Mason's commissioning.
When they left port more than 50 years ago, it was still a time of segregation, and they manned the Navy's first predominantly African-American warship, not as cooks and stewards, but as warfighters.
White and black, eating, sleeping, everything together, and not one hint of racial hostility, not once, no fights, nothing.
Clearly, the new USS Mason crew reflects the great American melting pot, a development due in part to the honor and dignity of those who sailed before them in a different age under the same glorious USS Mason name.
The Mason crew, gone this holiday season, carries on that great tradition.
Absolutely, and the thing you got from the original Mason sailors, and we do the same thing, is we just want to do a good job. We're not saying there's a sense of history, but if we don't do a good job, all the hype and all the talk about history doesn't mean anything. So we're focused on the mission, and hopefully our reputations will precede us after that.
Of course, I believe it's more opportunity now. Not in, the year 2007, 2006, 2007, more opportunity. A lot more opportunities for the sailors on board the USS Mason.
So while we enjoy another holiday season here in Hampton Roads, know that the crew of the USS Mason are on station working hard for all of us.
We spent a lot of time training and preparing ourselves for this, and it's kind of an honor to go there and actually protect our families in this respect. So we're proud to do this. Our motto is proudly we serve, and we just want to get out there and make our families proud and safe.
United States Navy 4, professional achievement in the performance of his duties while serving as Information Systems Security Manager.
Hello, my name is Benita Savia. I'm on the USS Mason. I'm a YN3. I just want to say hello to all my family and friends. Merry Christmas. Hi, Boo Bear. Hi, Marmy. Hi, my dad. Hi, Barbara. I love you guys all. Hi to my brother and Carmi. I love you guys all. I'll see you when I come home.
Hi, this is Y1 Cass Elias. I'm on the USS Mason. Just want to say hello to Morgan and Cass. I love you, and I'll see you when I get home. Bye-bye.
Chief Evans from the USS Mason. I'd like to put warm regards out to my wife, Petra, and I want to put a shout out to all my former shipmates out and abroad in the Norfolk area. Hoorah!
This is Y1 Eric Wilmuth on board USS Mason. I just want to say happy holidays to my wife, Lori, back in Virginia Beach, and family members back in West Virginia.
This is MA1 Stith on board the USS Mason. Want to wish happy holidays to Donnie, Kimberly, Chelsea, and Emily, and my wife, Jessica, and everybody else around the city. Hope you're all having a good time.
Yacht Day. My name is Danielle Largo. I'm stationed on the USS Mason. I don't have any family in Norfolk, but I have some in Gallup, New Mexico. Just like to say hi to my mom, my dad, my 3 brothers, my sister, and my little niece, Angelina. And Merry Christmas to everybody in Norfolk.
Good morning, America. My name is Pedelsa Adams. I'm on USS Mason. I'd like to give a special season's greetings out to my wife, Tammy Adams, and my son, 4 boys, Jermaine, Lorenzo, Lamont, and Jalen. Daddy loves you.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant J.D. Marta Savage, the CIC officer on the USS Mason. I'd like to say Merry Christmas to my sister Thea, her husband Dean, my niece Dina, and my sister-in-law Jenna. Merry Christmas.
From USS Mason, OI Division, Happy Holidays, Hampton Roads.
I'm OS1 Hokut from USS Mason. I'd like to say Happy Holidays to my cousin Barb and Bud.
This is SHSN Jamaica Roundtree from Valdosta, Georgia. I'm on board USS Mason. I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and God bless you.
I'm CS2 Woods on board the USS Mason, DDG 87. I'd like to say Happy Holidays to my family, my wife Tanya, my son Tyler, and my daughter Taylor. Happy Holidays.
From the galley from the USS Mason, Happy Holidays, Hampton Roads.
Oh, and of course the CO has to wish his beautiful family Happy Holidays.
Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to Mary, Anna, and Max. Hope you guys are doing well. I look forward to seeing you very soon. Be good, kids, because I'll come back and check on you. Love you. Bye.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Give me a little hug. You know you love Santa.
A visit from Santa can always make the holidays seem a little brighter, even for these children whose loved ones will be gone this Christmas fighting the war on terrorism. That's why Walmart joined forces with Operation Homefront to make Norfolk one of 6 Operation Christmas stops.
They sacrifice a lot, the families do, while the service members are deployed, so it's our opportunity to thank them for that.
Their parents are across the water fighting for us, and they don't have the opportunity to be here with them and share Christmas with them. And we want to do some things to make sure that they enjoy Christmas and get to really know what it's all about.
To these children, it's all about getting a chance to play some of the latest video games, check out some of the newest electronic devices, and of course, get some quality time on Santa's lap.
It's hard when you have kids. We kind of deal with it as adults, but it's still hard. You want your loved ones with you at Christmas.
For Brenda and several other Army National Guard wives, this is the 2nd Christmas in a row they've been away from their husbands.
The hardest thing is, putting up the tree, and my son's so happy to see the lights, and I just wish that my husband was here to see, how he reacts to all this. Because he's at the age now where he, everything's like, oh, Santa and Christmas, and he just wants his daddy here.
It's hard with the kids. It's very difficult.
That's where Operation Christmas helps out, creating a party atmosphere. And giving military families a chance to be with others who are in the same situation they are this holiday season, celebrating without a loved one.
Everybody says that you should be used to it by now, but it gets a little bit difficult, especially this time of the year. We have to become very independent family, but we try and keep in touch as much as possible through email.
We're all kind of, a little bummed down in the dirt, just because, we can't be a whole family. So getting together like this with members that are going through the same thing kind of helps us out, to let us know that there are people here to help us.
I definitely think so, because we all have something in common, that we bond with each other that way.
A bond made stronger and new friendships formed by coming together to remember the reason for the season and to remember that even though loved ones are all fighting for our freedom, they are never far from our thoughts, no matter what time of year.
The carrier Dwight D. Eisenhower has been on deployments since she was commissioned in 1977. Fighting the global war on terror, her mission will take her to the Middle East this time.
Well, the Dwight D. Eisenhower Air Wing 7 Strike Group 8 Desron 28 team is out here to provide primarily maritime security operations, be it here in this part of the world or wherever we may go.
And wherever they go, they know they will be the tip of the spear.
Certainly for us, supporting the boots on the ground, as we refer to them, be it in Iraq or Afghanistan or wherever it may be, is immensely rewarding, knowing that we're here making a difference and certainly helping preserve their lives and supporting their families by extension, and therefore supporting the overall national security strategy.
Oceania-based squadrons like the Pukin Dogs of VFA 143 will do their part, as we found out when we talked to their skipper.
I've had the good fortune of working with some Army folks in the Pentagon who are now on the ground in Iraq. So I look forward to the opportunity to maybe hear their voice on the other end of the radio calling for support and having my guys respond to it. And that's what we train for. That's what we're there for, to make it easier for them to do their job.
On a flight deck in a hangar bay, stay clear of L4. L4 is going to the hangar, run L4.
Combat ops becomes the daily routine of the ship out here to assure a successful mission.
Typical day when we get into combat ops will probably be between 14 hours and 15 hours. Flying-wise, we'll probably get about 6 to 7 hours of mission time. And other than that, we're mission planning, eating, sleeping, and that's about it.
These naval aviators love what they do. It's all about the flying, and they never seem to tire, as we heard from Commander Nichols.
Never. Every time you put the gear handle up, you drop all the stuff that's going on the ground and you focus on flying. And I love what I do, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I know it's coming to the end for me. I may only have a few months left of doing this, and I love it every day.
Now, our mission was accomplished when these guys wish their loved ones a happy holiday.
We're thinking about you all every day and know you're thinking about us, and that makes the holidays very, very special, and we look forward to seeing you again this spring. And to my family, my wife Susan and our sons Chris and John, look forward to seeing you all here in the not-too-distant future. Have a great Christmas and a wonderful holidays.
I just want to say hi to my wife Maria and my boys Jacob, Luke, and Christopher. Miss you guys. Can't wait to come home.
I'd just like to say hello to my wife Alicia. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll be home soon. Love you.
Sailors and Marines on board the carrier Eisenhower will be involved in combat operations mode this holiday season as they do their part in the global war on terrorism. Norfolk-based sailors and Marines were also involved this year in another war, the war in Lebanon. 13 News military reporter Mike Gooding.
Well, Joe, you could say it was an early Christmas present from the Navy and Marine Corps to some 15,000 plus U.S. citizens. Perhaps the greatest gift of all, their freedom. For the USS Trenton and her crew of 400, this was a special homecoming in so many ways. First, for having successfully completed a 5.5-month surge deployment, the highlight of which was evacuating some 3,500 American citizens from war-torn Lebanon.
That's where the game is, forward deployed, and there's always contingencies out there that we can respond to, and I think with the situation in Lebanon, it shows the genius of the CNO in having surge-capable forces.
Additionally, this was the Trenton's final U.S. mission after 35 years service to America. In January, the amphibious transport dock will be decommissioned and sold to the Indian Navy as part of the U.S. Foreign Military Sales Program.
We would rather Trenton be turned over to another country so that the life of Trenton can continue.
And while all that stuff is super important, what really mattered right here, right now, was the reuniting with loved ones, like Petty Officer Aaron Castro seeing his newborn son Joel for the first time.
Unbelievable. I just seen pictures of him, and that's all I've got. And he was born in May 4th, and it was at the beginning of our deployment.
That's incredible. It's awesome. I can't even tell you. It's awesome. I'm just glad to have him home finally.
And the Trenton was not alone. 9 U.S. Navy warships, 7 from Hampton Roads, led by the USS Iwo Jima Expeditionary Strike Group, and Marines from the 24th Expeditionary Unit out of Camp Lejeune responded, among them the USS Gonzalez.
As soon as the crew realized that what their mission was, that they were going to evacuate American citizens from a very dangerous and very unstable area, no complaints. Everybody jumped in line and got the mission done.
Excuse me. The USS Nashville and its embarked Marines also played a huge role.
We tried to make it so that when the people walked on board Nashville, that they felt like they were walking onto America. And it was, although across the world, it was America. And when we welcomed them home.
And it is a real testament to the hard-working nature of some awfully great American servicemen and women, volunteers all, who are able to drop what they're doing and rush out and help some great Americans trying to voluntarily depart Lebanon.
Coast Guard Cutter Frank 3. If Santa ships any toys and packages to Hampton Roads this year, he'll be able to thank the Coast Guard cutter Frank Drew for the smooth sailing. The 175-foot cutter and its crew tends to more than 400 buoys, largely in the lower Chesapeake Bay. Ready on the cage line. Come up. The state-of-the-art boat is equipped with a dynamic positioning system. Right 5 degrees. It doesn't have a traditional rudder. Instead, it has directional thrusters, which give it the ability to almost stop on a dime
and belly up to a buoy, some as heavy as 12,000 pounds.
Cage line set.
Master Chief Scott Eric runs the deck operations.
I enjoy every aspect of it.
Eric says buoy tending has a lot of rewards.
At the end of the day, we can look back and see our work. Ease cross deck!
The work is hard and the days are long, 12 hours long.
Hold cross deck!
Small crew of 20 uses a 10-ton crane and guide wires to slowly and carefully lay buoy after buoy on the deck of the cutter.
People down there because
Tim Gregory is the commanding officer.
Coordinated chaos in a sense, you know. If the team doesn't play together, the operation doesn't work.
Battery's good.
The coasties check the buoy light, and they check the anchor chain to make sure it's secure.
First time check.
Most importantly, the coasties make sure the buoys correctly mark the channel. Despite high-tech navigating systems, mariners still like to see the buoys.
It's almost like building a road on the water. You know, it's the same concept.
The crew of the Frank Drew proudly claims it has one of the dirtiest jobs in the Coast Guard. The chain on the buoy can be covered in seaweed and mussels and sometimes crabs. On the buoy itself, nothing but slime. Up there, the birds have made themselves at home. And by the end of the day, there's an odor on deck that you wouldn't want me to describe.
The young crew thrives on it all.
Did you know it was going to be this dirty?
No, my recruiter didn't tell me that until now.
You wanted a dirty job?
Yes, I did, and I fought for it about a year and a half, and I finally got down here.
Coming down, watch your heads.
The work is dirty, but the Frank Drew's mission is essential to Hampton Roads. Each year, an average of 2,500 commercial ships visit the port. And then there's the Navy. The buoys that mark the 50-foot deep channel could be the difference between life and death. Safety takes no holiday.
With the most advanced aircraft in the world, the vision of the all-volunteer Air Force is global vigilance, reach, and power. Langley Air Force Base in Hampton is the headquarters of the Air Combat Command. Here, highly skilled airmen are doing their part to serve the country. But some are also doing their part to serve the people of Hampton Roads. Volunteers from Langley are on the front lines battling hunger through the Meals on Wheels program.
Currently, they deliver about 20% of our routes, which is a big portion of what we do each day.
Tech Sergeant Brian Adams has been part of the program for 7 of his 13 years in the Air Force.
I mean, the Meals on Wheels program is designed to give them at least one nutritious meal throughout the day, but it's also social contact and sometimes a report on somebody that maybe just needs a little bit of assistance.
And Tech Sergeant Jacqueline Weber has been a volunteer for 5 of her 18 years in the Air Force, delivering a hot meal and a warm smile.
They have always been welcoming, and every now and again you get a chance to just talk and get some history.
81-year-old Lola Horton, who can't get around without her wheelchair, is thankful for the food and the fellowship.
I love it. I'm thankful because there'd be probably lots of days I wouldn't eat lunch without it, you know, because I don't feel like trying to set at the stove and cook.
Tech Sergeants Adams and Weber will stop at 8 to 10 homes over the course of an hour.
Meals on Wheels.
Meals on Wheels.
But the meal is only part of the mission. The volunteers provide 2 sets of eyes and ears looking out for seniors. Hazel Muller is 79 years old. The airman discovered her central heat malfunctioned, leaving her in the cold.
Are you doing okay?
I'm freezing to death. My furnace burned out.
Oh, no.
Sometimes.
Our volunteers will notify the Peninsula Agency on Aging that heating help is needed in Muller's home.
It was very kind of you to lend a hand.
Tech Sergeants Adams and Weber answering the call. 2 shining examples of Air Force vigilance, reach, and power.
I don't want to just be stationed at a base that's in the middle of a city, but I also want to be part of that community. And one thing that we're always taught is to not only live in the community, but make yourself a part of it. So we're airmen, we just want to let the community know that we care for them.
We are pleased to be part of this year's Navy Christmas with 13 News. We are all proud of the men and women in uniform who serve and protect us every day around the world. We understand that their commitment requires them to be away from their families during the holiday season. Enjoy this presentation of Navy Christmas and remember those who made it possible for us to celebrate this holiday season in freedom and peace.
USAA was formed in 1922 when 25 Army officers met in San Antonio and decided to insure each other's vehicles. At that time, military personnel couldn't purchase auto insurance because they were considered bad risks. Now, over 80 years later, USAA is serving 5.6 million military members and their families. It has become the only fully integrated financial services company in the country. Hello, I'm Ron Reagan, Vice President and General Manager of USAA's Mid-Atlantic office in Norfolk. Once again, we are glad to be part of the 21st Annual Navy Christmas Tribute to the Military. We at USAA are grateful to all the men and women who serve in the military and protect our freedom. We recognize the sacrifices their families at home are making for our country as well. At USAA, we know what it means to serve. Many of our own employees have served themselves or have loved ones who have served our country. When I was in the United States Army, my job often took me away from my loved ones, so I know how hard it is to be separated from family. Never is that more true than during the holidays. That's why USAA is so pleased to sponsor this Navy Christmas show. We hope it will make you feel a little closer to your loved ones overseas, and we hope it will express our gratitude for all they do.
The LA-class fast attack sub Newport News is also away from home this holiday season. In our day on board, we found a lot of sailors who wanted to pass along those holiday greetings.
Hi, I'm ET1 Herring of the USS Newport News. I want to say happy holidays to my wife, Belda, my daughter, LaKayla, and all of my family in Hampton Roads area.
I'm ET1 Fitz of the Newport News. I'd like to say hi to my wife, Ty, and all my friends and family, and I'll be back soon. Love you guys. Bye.
It's Lieutenant Bailey from USS Newport News. Just want to say happy holidays to my wife Amy and 2 kids, Clay and Chase. Love you guys.
Hi, I'm Pet Officer Napier from the USS Newport News. I want to say happy holidays and a Merry Christmas to my wife and my kids and all my family and friends back home.
Hi, I'm ET1 Jim Creighton off the USS Newport News. I'd like to say Merry Christmas to my friends and family, including my wife Allison, kids Andrea, Jonathan, Seth, and Faith. See you soon.
Hi, this is ETC Ken Felter off the USS Newport News, and I just want to wish a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to Janelle, Catherine, Elaine, Jackie, and Izzy back home.
Hi, I'm Senior Chief Art Wadford off the USS Newport News. I'd like to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to my wife Casey, my daughter Tori, Caitlin, Max, and Winky.
Hi, I'm Senior Chief Chris Wood of USS Newport News. Just want to say Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year to Shannon and Hayden back in Elizabeth City.
Now, photographer Jason Walsh rolled his camera as we walked along, and you can see just how tight things are on a sub.
I guess when you first get on, it has that appearance, but just through the daily routine and stuff, you get used to it, so you really don't even notice it.
They say the food is always better on a sub, and as we found out, it can be the one thing that brings this silent service into port.
It's a work in progress, but there's not too many limitations on being away from home port or being away from port. Mainly food would be our only thing that would keep us from coming back in. We have the capability of self-sustaining. We're self-sustaining.
And how is it out here during the Christmas season?
Well, it's to be honest with you, it's not a lot of fun to be gone during the holidays. But I've got a wonderful wife, and she takes care of everything at home, so I don't have anything to worry about.
And check out this space where racks are next to weapons.
It is very tight. So much as a 150-man crew, you pretty much know the ins and outs of everybody. Family life on the outside. It's not an uncommon practice to ask a fellow, "Hey, how's your wife doing?" and know exactly what to expect.
To a man or woman, they all say the holidays are the hardest.
It gets a little rough. This one brought on a couple college courses. Work a little extra hard, I guess, to keep my mind off of home.
Like I said, there were a lot of Newport News sailors who wanted to pass along holiday greetings.
Hi, I'm Chris Galari. I'm off the USS Newport News. I just want to say Merry Christmas to my family and my roommates, and hope to see you soon.
This is Chief Lilly from the USS Newport News. I'd like to say hi to my wife Teresa, my daughter Sarah, and the rest of my family, and wish them a Merry Christmas and a safe and Happy New Year.
This is FT2 Blanton off the USS Newport News. I'd like to say season greeting, Happy New Year,
Merry Christmas to my wife, Lauren, my son, Cameron, and my daughter, Katie Lauren. I love you.
This is STS3 Russell on the USS Newport News. I'd just like to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to my mom, Glinda, my dad, Richard, and my sister, Bethany, and her new little baby boy. I miss you guys, but I'll be home soon.
Yeah, my name's Chief McGinn. I'm the Assistant Navigator in USS Newport News. I'd like to send out holiday greetings to my wife and family, Kirsten, Kylie, and Samantha, and a happy 20th wedding anniversary on Valentine's Day this year. Love y'all. Thanks a lot. We'll see you when I get back.
Hi, my name's Ian Wenshaw. I'm off the USS Newport News. I'd like to say happy holidays to my wife, Natalie, and my two kids, Isaac and Isabella, and happy anniversary to my wife. I'll see you guys when I get back. Love you.
Hi, my name is Pedastro La Passerella of the USS Newport News. I'd just like to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to my friends and family back in Hampton Roads, particularly my wife Deborah and my son Justin. May miss our anniversary this year, but I'm still thinking about you. See you when I get home.
The silent service, but not too silent when it comes to home. When we started this Navy Christmas special back in 1986, photographer Brian Barbie and I were on board the carrier Kennedy, and the F-14 was the fighter on board. Now, in 2006, on board the carrier Eisenhower, the FA-18 has taken its place. As our military reporter Mike Gooding tells us, that famed fighter, the F-14, was retired earlier this year.
Joe, in the 2 decades plus now that we have been doing this Navy Christmas show, one constant through the years has always been the F-14 Tomcat. But not anymore. This past September, the legendary fighter jet was retired for good. How do you say goodbye to a legend? Well, in the case of the F-14 Tomcat, forever immortalized as a pop culture icon in the Tom Cruise movie Top Gun, with tender loving care. And so it was that the Navy's final flight of the mighty warbird blasted off into the history books on September 22nd at Oceana. 3,000 people packed the master jet base to say farewell. Among them, former F-14 pilot and current Fleet Forces Admiral John Nathman.
Many let me know what the turkey meant to them, what stood out in their association with the Tomcat. One term that stands out above all the rest is the word tough. Like incredibly tough in a fight.
Through its 36 years, the Tomcat saw action in one form or another through every American major military conflict from Vietnam through Operation Iraqi Freedom, and was beloved by the men and women fortunate enough to have climbed into the cockpit.
Well, everything must come to an end, you know, but it was great while it lasted. It was a fun ride. It was the most capable, best performing airplane that the Navy's ever had, as far as I'm concerned.
This airplane's got a legacy. When you see 3,000 people show up to bid it goodbye, that's never going to die.
Well, it's been, it's defended the Navy, the country, and everybody in it for 30 plus years, over 3 decades, and it's just a magnificent predator. And a lot of us flew it and just loved the machine, and it's sort of a bittersweet day to see it go bye-bye, but it's also, that's what happens, you know. You looks like myself, old fighter pilots retire, and old fighters have to retire at some point.
Well, you know, it's been the icon of naval aviation. It's you know, from all the publicity it received in the movie Top Gun, and I think people just associate naval aviation with the Tomcat. So, you know, it's just a phenomenal airplane.
Taylor History 356 and Taylor Side 352.
So what is Central Texas College doing on board the guided missile destroyer Ramage?
You guys are going to be really busy on this deployment, earning lots of credits.
It's all part of the PACE program, and some 10 colleges and universities are represented.
We're delivering the textbooks for the CD-ROM delivered courses for the students that are going to be taking these on the deployment, and they'll be earning traditional college credits, classroom credits from the colleges and universities that offer courses through PACE.
The Ramage supply officer will have a lot on his mind. Besides his daily chores, managing the ship's stores, he will also be thinking of his wife, who gave birth to a new baby after he left. Does this work get any easier in 2006?
No, just prepare as best you can, and you need a little luck when you get over there. You know, when you go to wherever we're going to go, you need a little luck. Hopefully everything will stay calm when we get over there, but that's why the ship's here, in case things don't.
It gets a little bit more nervous, because the first couple of deployments I did back in the early 90s, it was more excited to pull into ports, but after the cold, now you have to worry about the small ships coming alongside, Our force protection's a lot higher now to protect us, but it'll still be exciting.
From USS Ramage, happy holidays, Hampton Roads.
It may be Christmas, but flight ops are non-stop out here. The job of keeping the spiritual side of the season alive is left up to the chaplain corps.
I love what I do. This is what God's called me to do. I was prior enlisted, and I came back just so that I could minister to God's people.
Chaplain Allison is the CAG chaplain and makes the rounds each day among the squadrons on board. Christmas Day, he'll be very busy.
Even out here in a war setting, so we're going to try to help people get back to what they think is a traditional Christmas and help them enjoy the day.
As the baton of freedom is passed to us, we pray for strength, courage, and endurance to run the race and finish the course that is set before us.
Commander John Maurice is the lead chaplain on Ike. He knows 6 months at sea can allow sailors a long time to reflect on their lives.
And knowing that you're going into potentially into harm's way certainly helps you realize the gravity of what you do as a professional warrior. So I think faith is really a multiplier for our sailors.
3 chaplains on board Ike and 2 more serving the Carrier Strike Group.
We have Jewish lay leaders, we have Seventh-day Adventist lay leaders, LDS Mormon lay leaders, and so everyone that has a specific spiritual need we try to address either through a chaplain or through some sort of lay-led program.
There may be 5,000 sailors here, but loneliness can be a big problem.
And I think when they're out here, they have a time to reflect back on their family, their personal values, and I think that faith becomes a much more integral part of their life.
It's the spiritual side of the season.
May the favor of the Lord our God rest upon us, our strike group, our loved ones, and keep us safely sheltered in the palm of his hand. Amen. And on board the mighty Ike, good night.
All of us at WVEC TV are proud to be a part of this 21st annual Navy Christmas program and proud of all the military in Hampton Roads that wears the uniform. To you we say thank you, be safe, hurry home. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Joe Flanagan.
Happy holidays! Happy holidays!
Season's greetings.
Happy holidays!
From the riggers at the North Yard of X-36.
Happy holidays!
On behalf of Department 043, we'd like to wish you all a
Happy holidays!
We hope that this year's Navy Christmas was able to shorten the distance from the military far away and their loved ones here in Hampton Roads. At Taco Bell, we are wishing for a peaceful and prosperous new year. Our thoughts and prayers are with our men and women in uniform, wherever they are, defending our freedom. We appreciate and salute you, our heroes. And on behalf of the Taco Bell family, we would like to wish you a safe and joyous holiday.
Thank you for watching this show. As this annual Navy Christmas tribute to the military comes to an end, the Dodge dealers of Hampton Roads once again salute all of our armed forces for the commitment and sacrifices you make. We also like to thank their families and loved ones for the support that they provide. On behalf of the Dodge dealers of Hampton Roads, happy holidays.
Hello, I'm Gary Brandt, President and CEO of Marine Hydraulics International. We hope you've enjoyed the show. During this holiday season, please take time to remember our brave men and women fighting throughout the world to protect our freedom and being far away from their families and homes.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
On behalf of the entire MHI family, I'd like to wish you all a very blessed holiday season. Merry Christmas and may God bless you all.
What a great tribute to our military men and women and their families. We'd like to close by sending a few special wishes from members of our USAA family to their own family members serving overseas.
My name is Carol Davis, and I would like to wish a very Merry Christmas to my son Timothy Davis, who is serving in Iraq. Tim, the stripers are waiting for you.
Hi, my name is Erica Coates, and I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to my husband, Tori William Coates. He's serving on the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. I want to tell him we miss you and we're waiting for you here. Merry Christmas.
Hi, my name is Don Van Driesen, and I'd like to wish Amanda, my daughter, who is serving in Iraq, I'd like to wish her a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Your mother and I, Rachel and Brandon, we love you and we miss you. Merry Christmas.
We hope you've enjoyed the program and it has helped you to feel closer to your loved ones. To all our military members serving overseas and their families here at home, from all of us here at USAA,
Happy Holidays!
Once again, we want to thank all of our men and women in uniform and their families for their sacrifices. Have a safe and joyous holiday season from all of us at Smithfield Foods.